it's more on the government than anything else.
Wow.
Because when you set up a time and a place to turn yourself in, you meet at that time and place. You don't arrest that person outside of that and then raid their room.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real.
Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
And so it's a reason why, what was it, 2 years ago? Everything on social media was about, I love my toxic relationship.
Oh yeah, toxicity. Yeah, that was
right. You know, it was women, men posting about their wives or girlfriends hitting them in the head and going off on them. You know, here's a present. You know, why isn't my diamond hot? You didn't cook it. It's a diamond, baby. You don't cook it. And getting chewed out and vice versa. And I don't love a man unless, you know, he's about to beat up the waiter.
Yeah.
Because the waiter's male and he gave me my water first.
Come on.
Right? And so there are people who like toxic relationships. And so that's something that I think the prosecution is going to bring up as well.
So for the prosecution to bring up
I'm sorry, the defense. The defense.
Yeah, the defense, yeah, when they have their turn. For the prosecution to bring up you know, the male sex workers, you know, the Punisher, who wrote a book called Freezer Meat and talks about having, you know, erectile dysfunction.
I don't even know how you said that with a straight face.
Yeah, yeah. I'm blinking a few, you know, goddamn, yeah, nigga coughing. Shit. He wrote a book, of course, The Lack of Freezer Meat or something, where he's speaking on erectile dysfunction while allegedly being with Cassie and Diddy and saying why, you know, they're basically going through his book of why you were, you know, what was going on during your visitation with Cassie and Diddy, of why you couldn't perform. And again, it makes Diddy look like, I don't know, yeah, just very freaky. It's just very freaky. What are your thoughts when they pull up the pictures of all six, I think, or maybe 6 or 8 male sex workers? They're not going to present them all, but they're showing these are the guys or these are the type of men, including Jonathan Oddie, that they wanted to, you know, of course, be with. To me, it doesn't matter to have the male sex workers there in their story.
And side note, why are they not being prosecuted?
Yeah, like sex workers.
You know, look, they probably have some kind of immunity or deal. But if they did, it would have to be made known. So I can't really explain that.
Right, because it seemed like Diddy's getting all the flack. It's like everybody was involved in this.
Or watch this. Or at the time that it happened, what they could charge them with, the statute of limitations has passed.
Right.
And so there are a couple of different reasons. But, you know, once again, the prosecution is doing their job by having us talk about sex. We can't talk about the actual being coerced or the fraud, or we're not talking really about the money. We're not really talking about the transactions with the drugs. Where'd they get the drugs from?
It's coming.
But it could be coming. But if we're so caught up with sex, and this is where it gets dangerous. If I'm so caught up with sex, then the next witness, and he's talking about, Diddy had me go purchase drugs from this guy off of 5th Street on this date for the freak off. People are like, okay, what happened at the freak off? They're not even focused in on the fact that just recently, the cash was used to go purchase things outside of food and drinks. They said that the food and drinks were purchased up under the corporation. All of the sex oils and toys and everything else was paid for with cash from Puffy. Puffy told his assistant that, hey, look, that's personal stuff. I'll pay for that from my own pocket. They tried to make that a thing, but to be honest with you, and this is the thing that bothered me. They said this deals with his criminal mindset. No. As a corporation, and this is how people get caught up. If I run a corporation, you guys run a corporation, right? And if you purchase cameras, if you purchase drinks and food for your guests, that's one thing. But if you go and buy, you can't use the corporation money to go buy your son a PlayStation. That's not part of, that doesn't benefit the
We
corporation.
bought baby oil only for entertainment purposes.
You bought baby oil.
Don't listen to him, please. We have bought baby oil, but it wasn't.
It was only for entertainment.
I have a PSA. I have a if the feds come investigate,
They only come to investigate Joker. They only come to talk to Joker.
if they come investigate Joker for baby oil, understand that our relationship is just in front of the camera and behind the camera. We have never hung out outside of this.
You will not see it.
Like, no, you can check my GPS on my phone, my car. I've not been anywhere near his freak shop or anything else.
No.
He has a freak mobile.
So now, like you were saying, I feel like when it comes to like extreme sexual things, right? That people just, they're darker thoughts, right? They're intrusive thoughts. They're things that like you want to pretend you don't like, and so when people are caught in those acts, you want to demonize that. Like everybody do some drugs sometimes. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
Now, I mean, like I'm sure there's people. No, but so
No.
but no. What I'm saying is,
I know what
there
you're saying.
are. I guarantee you, there are people on that jury that have done drugs but not been peed on. So,
Where's the trial being held at?
where is the trial?
New York.
New York. Is it New
Is
York?
weed legal there?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, is it New York?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
So chances are there's somebody who puffs and eats there on the jury because as I travel the country and I watch people line up to go into these shops, it's everyone from
The rooter to the
a
tutor?
Brooks Brothers suit that costs $1,500 to somebody in some slides and some socks. But to your point about the sex, and so I had a case that involved a young woman. She was sexually assaulted, but she was also a swinger. The assault had nothing to do with her relationship. It was an employment situation. But the information came out that she was in and this is where I learned the term, a throuple. And so the defense tried to really make
What's the throuple?
3 people.
Oh,
3 people in a relationship. I was gonna set you up, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I want you to keep a happy home. But the thing is, they tried to villainize her early on before the trial of being in those relationships and saying that she was open to any and everything. And the thing was, we had to let them know, no, it was controlled. She enjoyed being in this relationship that was in a controlled environment between 3 consenting individuals. And so that was very different than what took place outside of that.
Can I ask you your thoughts on the media take on all this? It was brought up that when they raided Diddy's house, they only found 25 bottles of baby oil. But somehow the media ran with 1,000, which was crazy. That was never a thing. And they'd be like, we don't know how that even got to become a thing where 1,000 bottles of baby oil it's 25 is still a lot, but manageable.
Maybe he's ashy.
Maybe he's ashy. Well, well, testimony says he like him greasy. But no, give me your thoughts as far as the media's outtake on this. I know, right? Because the media is running with such a narrative. I think it was Dawn Richards from Danny Cannon who was leaving her testimony on Monday, and they were
You
I can't even repeat it. But they yelled out some really rude things about Diddy's manhood. That I'm like, the media is really becoming the show of all this. What are your thoughts on the media aspect of it? Because even Kid Cudi, as he was leaving, some things were said to him that was like talking about Kanye and Diddy. I can't even say it. But they're saying such crazy things.
So when you comment on this portion of the show and you don't know what he was talking about, please don't direct that toward me.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I get
Do
enough,
your own research.
I get enough already. And so, but going back to, the media.
Yes.
One of the things that I find to be dangerous, and I know I've upset some people on here by giving plausible reasons why Diddy's defense did a good job, or why the prosecution wasn't strong enough on this, or what they did wasn't necessary. It's not that I choose a side, but I am just talking about the facts or the testimony that has been laid out and how I'm analyzing it as a trial attorney. Mm-hmm. I've been in trial and I go to trial. I've been in and I go to trial. And so I'm analyzing from that standpoint. When I see lawyers or the media who are jumping on the bandwagon of grabbing torches and saying that he's a monster, I find that to be very dangerous. And I find it to be very, how should I say it, disingenuous to the craft. Because if you truly are a good litigator and a good lawyer, you're going to always look at the evidence and call it out as you see it, good, bad, or indifferent. Now, if we're on a program and one person is supposed to take the pro and someone's supposed to take the con, I get that. You argue your point of view. But if you are up there just to talk about the program, for example, when I was on one of the national televised programs talking about the Cosby. I said Cosby was getting out years before he was getting out. Because the testimony and the evidence that was used in that trial had previously been agreed to that it would never see the light of day. This judge basically undid another judge's decision and circumvented that man's Fifth Amendment right. Yes. And so when I look at a case, I look at it as the law intended, to be neutral, to look at it at the evidence. And the media, their job is to sell ads and to get views and to get clicks. And so I hope that the commentary that I have on here, people take it and use it to either better themselves in understanding how the trial is going along, even if you don't like the situation and you really want to see Diddy or Puffy go to jail for life, and you want someone to just feed into what you want. That's not what I'm going to do. All it's not, even though I might want the same thing. You didn't have me on here to talk about what I want. You had me to come talk about the case from a legal stance, because you yourself can get up here without any law degree and talk about how bad and how he should go to jail.
Exactly. I'm your typical juror. Maybe not. But
you wouldn't make it.
Yeah, right. When it comes to when you speak on evidence, and when they arrested Diddy, as far as he came back to New York, he said allegedly to turn himself in at the time. Of course, he went walking, and they caught him coming back to his hotel, but they ended up raiding his hotel room that he was coming in. They showed what they confiscated. You saw a few, travel size bottles of baby oil. You saw the pink cocaine, Tusi, whatever the pink
MDA,
the pinkish powder. To see that, and then of course they showed the clothes he had, and just basically traveling. And again, this is outside of maybe attorney Larry Taylor, but just Larry Taylor the man. The fact that he came to, let's say, turn himself in, and he had the freak off party favors with him. What are your thoughts to that? That he travels with that?
Man, let me tell you something. It's more on the government than anything else.
Wow.
Because when you set up a time and a place to turn yourself in, you meet at that time and place. You don't arrest that person outside of that and then raid their room.
Yeah.
You think about it. The young man just recently in Dallas, Texas, at the high school had the shooting. He said, I was going to turn myself in. They didn't catch him off a riverfront, 2 lights down, and stop him and jump in the car and raid the car. They let him get out the car with his lawyer, with his parents, and walk himself in and put handcuffs on him. And so that has more to do with the government than anything else. Now, given the fact that the government did what they did and we saw what we saw, that's problematic, right? Or is it?
Or is it?
Does it go to say that this man has an addiction?
Yeah, right.
And is his addiction against the law?
There you go.
Let's just say, and don't kill me, professional athletes, but if a professional athlete who is married, every time they travel, they got a box of condoms in their suitcase.
They're addicted to protected sex.
Right? Does that necessarily make them, a freak off candidate? And if they are, is that against the law?
Come on.
Every teenage boy who was sexually active when they're 16 to however old until they get married, every time they go out, they got a condom on them, just in case.
Baby will.
Yeah, baby was wild.
Just.
But it's like a young boy who travels with lotion all the time. You're like, man, I gotta keep my lotion on me. But let's just skip that. So, so it's
Shout out RealLyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move it. Hey.